The microphone is now on.
Messy.
Okay.
Why don't you sit so you...
Okay.
Fairly good, close thing. Let's see if everybody's here yet.
Very nice. Yes, you're very good. Oh, very good. You're very good. Yes.
That's
And there
your
she
dog.
is.
She's put in quite an afternoon.
Yeah. He pulled a tick off of her.
Did you pull a tick off her?
That's what Bud said. That's what it says.
I don't know why Wanda's shaking so much.
Because she's nervous.
She's
I don't blame her.
normal for Jack Russells.
Yeah. Well.
He's been barking. Did you watch it at all?
The dog, yeah. Yeah, he was barking. I watched some woman sit down with him.
Yeah.
And he was biting at her and barking and barking and barking and barking.
Yeah.
I think that's because he's very... but if notice how he's respectful of Wanda's space now.
Yes.
And he was upset because he's not used to sharing the space with any other dog. I'm just guessing, but
oh sure.
He's very jealous of Wanda, but he's also respectful. He just doesn't. He's used to being the center of attention, but Wanda she's the queen bee.
You are, yes. Miss Nessie.
And I also saw him biting that woman a lot, biting at that woman. Yeah,
Oh, dude.
not just playfully, I think.
Just pay attention to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hi, Calvin.
Now they're dogging flu shots.
I'm getting my flu shot, my booster right after this, 6:15.
What have you got?
Moderna. They say it's half the dose,
Oh,
so it's.
but you've had 2 shots already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'll only be half as sick after this.
Okay. Oh, there you go. You're gonna get me going.
Oh boy. Okay.
Oh. Oh.
Do we usually give it a few minutes for people to log? Do we usually give it a few minutes?
Just a second or two, yeah.
All right. Let me see if there's any snacks.
Oh well, if you want to hit a snack, try that red can out there.
Okay.
It's terrible.
Oh boy.
Those are
Oh boy.
Buckeyes.
Oh yeah. Oh my.
I had my
Wow.
wild day. Just plain wild day. I'm losing my water thing. I thought I had it with me.
Where is it?
I don't know. Dad's
No. How's that van?
How is it? I don't know.
I heard it starts.
Oh, it started. It started for me, yeah.
Nice. All
I
right.
know much beyond that.
I'm gonna bring it down to Country Motors,
Oh, yeah.
cause that'll pull my trailer.
That's a heavy duty van.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
What'll happen? What are you doing?
If you wonder how the van was, I said it started for me. That's all I can tell you.
Oh. Everybody was very glad you went down and patted Wanda.
I was patting Wanda. That bike on? No.
Mike is on.
Found 4 ticks on her.
Huh?
Well, I walked her
Found
this morning.
4 ticks on her.
Wow. Yeah, I should get some more of that.
Really?
She's had that stuff on her.
Really?
Advantage?
Yeah. I put it between her. Maybe I need to do that again.
Well, how often do you do it?
Like every other month.
There is a prescribed.
I do that.
Yeah.
But I didn't do it. I didn't know if I needed to do it all winter. So I'll get. We have some of that here, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
we do.
Winston, whatever his name is, he was pretty calm. The two nutcases next door were acting up. That got him a little bit crazy, but he was fine. He was good. He lied right down and seemed calm.
Yes, heaven only knows.
I know.
She said there was a woman here early sitting with him.
Yeah, yeah. I was watching it for a little while in this because I had it on my spare computer, and this woman and watching the dynamic. I wanted to watch the dynamic between Wanda and Wilson, because my thought was that Wanda can help train him to get some respect for other animals, and she was doing her job. Like, he would try to jump on this woman and Wanda would bite at him. And he was really upset that she was getting the attention.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
At any rate.
Oh yeah. Well, they all, strive for the attention.
Right.
Push the other one out.
yeah.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Okay, so now we got 15. Sound is on. Okay. Here we go. Those Buckeyes do the job. That's what you just did.
Yeah.
Okay, so
All right.
what started this whole thing was a few days ago or a week ago.
Oh, it was
Yes.
it was
The
over
whole,
that.
The
It
whole
was-
Victor thing.
Yeah, that was close to a month ago, because my arm the skin on my arm is still in the process of being repaired. So for those of you who don't know Victor, I didn't know Victor either. I came over to Service Dog Project, and Lynn said to me in the conversation that we have a dog that is not going to make a service dog, but we don't even know whether we can place him in a home because he seems to be getting more and more aggressive, and he's had some issues so it's like, well, how bad can it be? Let me go in and see him. And I've done this on a number of occasions because I feel, well, actually my mother feels that it's better for him to bite someone like me than a stranger. So I'm used to getting, and they use Wanda the same way. So I went in with Linda, and Victor came out of, it was outside in one of the little paddocks or pens.
Honeymoon Hill.
Yeah, and he came out, never growled, showed any signs of aggression, nothing, just started attacking me. It was awful. He swung around and he bit my elbow, tore my jacket on this side, bit my jacket on the back here, and then leaped up and got a good hold of my elbow and broke the skin underneath my elbow, on the top of my elbow. I had a shirt like this, a sweatshirt, and a winter coat on.
It was Lynn, not me.
Yeah, Lynn, yeah. And grabbed hold of me with such force and flew backwards. His move, I think, was to get me on the ground next, and it would have worked had Lynn been, she kind of was between, at this point had moved between me and the dog that now had my arm, and as he swung me forward, I would have gone down, which would have left me completely exposed to this 160-pound dog. But I fell against Linda that broke my fall, and we were both standing up, so she was kicking the dog to get him off me. He still had a hold of my arm, and she kicked him, and he let go of my arm, but then he's like spun around to keep coming at me. And I like to think I'm the type of person that if the world was ending and a ship was sinking, I would reach out and try to save other people, and I have learned I'm not that person, because I grabbed either side of Lynn and used her as a human shield, because he wasn't biting her, he was only biting me. And wherever that dog went, poor Lynn, I was like, whoosh, whoosh, and we had to back up, like he got a hold of my pant leg, but he didn't get my skin. We had to back up and get out of the gate without him attacking me. It was instantaneous. Like he walked up and just started attacking, no signs of anything, and that is the most dangerous dog. And we stood at the gate, and I'm like, we need to put a lock on that gate so nobody walks in that gate, because he will kill somebody. It was so evident to me that if Lynn wasn't there, I wouldn't be here today. So sadly, the decision was, the decision was that he was too dangerous to be around anyone. We couldn't place him in a home. You could never trust him. So he was euthanized. And I know a lot of people thought he went to Maine. We just didn't know how to communicate that with people. It's very rare we've seen a dog with that, because I'm the test on it. I've been bitten by a lot of dogs around here. They give warning. It doesn't happen very often, but like Chaos has bitten me so many times, but she never breaks the skin. She gives me plenty of warning that she's gonna bite me, and she growls, she barks, she has all the signs. This dog, none. Just walked up, started biting. Not just biting, attacking. So that was a couple weeks ago, and the issue that how this relates to Wilson is that dog grew up. I don't know all the details of that dog, but he grew up during the COVID time, and we changed our way of raising puppies because we didn't have as many. Because everyone was in masks, and we were social distancing, so things were different around here. And what's happened with Wilson, from my understanding, is he was a little bit coddled too much. Yes, it was Viktor. It was Viktor. And for those people who do not think that Viktor should have been euthanized, you really, I can take aggressive. That dog was a danger. There was no question about it. There was no gray. He was going to attack somebody, and not something that could be fixed. You wouldn't even want to take the liability of trying to fix something that was that bad. So the issue that how this ties to Wilson is we need to think about how we are, watch our puppies differently. He didn't attack me because he was afraid. He attacked me because he wanted to attack me. Other dogs, they'll bite because they're scared, and this dog just had, that was.
You're not a stranger to dogs.
No.
Or large animals, for that matter.
Yeah. So this was not a dog that it was in him, and how this ties into, we're starting to look at the puppies to make sure that we don't raise any more Viktors again. And Wilson has demonstrated bullying tendencies towards the puppies and towards people. And so he is disrespectful to the puppies, the other puppies. He's aggressive towards the dogs. He's been sitting on them. He's been, I don't know, the one I've heard, I don't know the exact behavior, but, and so that's one thing. And he also, he bites, not just playfully. If he wants something, he's willing to bite you for it. My mother's got a bite right there.
Right through. Bleed.
Yeah, and it's not like the puppy bites, which are, they chew, they gnarl. You might get a scratch because
mouthy, not mouthy.
No, that's not a mouthy.
No,
it's a
bite.
chomp. It's a chomp. And so I feel that this behavior is something that needs to have, and everyone around here, Lynn, my mother, and also myself, feel that we need to really focus on this behavior now that he's small, because I think that what gets caught in, that you guys don't realize from the cameras, is these are 160, Viktor was a 160-pound dog. He weighs 30 pounds, maybe 35, more than I do. And that big, strong dog coming at me, and if you guys had just seen that on camera, us kicking and yelling at a dog, you don't realize the magnitude of the power of these animals. We want to catch it with Wilson when he's a little puppy, and his bite just is a little nick on your finger.
Yeah, I'm the fourth one.
Yeah, we got to catch that right away. And how you catch it is, is debatable. My strategy is when, like, I picked him up last night and brought him back to my house. My strategy is to use Wanda to teach him how to have respect for not only dogs but also me. So I brought him back to. I think Wanda was at my house. Oh no, she was in the car. That's right, she was in the car. I drove over here just to check on him, and I saw he was shaking and nervous. So I was like, well, I'll bring him home and try it. So I picked him up, I put him in the car, and he immediately looked over at Wanda and invaded her space. And Wanda just chomped on the side of his lip, and he was like, whoa, what's that? So brought him back to my house, and Wanda, he invaded her space a couple times. He rolled her on the ground. And she has trained lots of Great Danes on how to be respectful. By the end of the night, he was like, may I please sit on the side of the bed that Wanda was sitting on? He had complete respect for Wanda, but she did that with quite, there was a few snarls. And you'll see her on camera because she is now working with him as his personal trainer to get him to be more respectful. She did it for, like, when Stitch first started playing with Wanda, he would pummel her, he would roll her, he'd accidentally step on her, because he was 150 pounds and she's 15 pounds. So, and like, there were times they would be playing and Wanda would be inside of his mouth, and he knows not to chomp down, and he knows how to play gently with him. There's a Stitch. So she has taught many other dogs how to play. She likes to play, and so this morning when I got up, we went over to Meredith and we walked around Meredith, and she and Wilson were playing together, and he was very respectful of the play, and he was very careful with her. Before I went for the walk, I think one of the things that would benefit from him is a little bit of outdoor exposure to different things. So over at Meredith Farm, every weekday, there's usually at least 5 to 10 men working in the construction of the new barn and the landscapers. So I brought him around on a leash, and we met everybody, and he had no signs of aggression, was happy to see he was a little nervous at first, but all of those people are, they all gave him, he hasn't met a lot of men, so that was good for him. And then I took him off. I went into there's a paddock that just has alpacas in it, and I have to shut a gate every morning in order to put horses out on the other side. So I have to go out in the alpaca paddock with just 2 alpacas, and then shut the gate. So I thought, and it's also has it's a white fence with a lined inside of wire. So even if he decided to run, he wouldn't be able to get out of the fence. So I thought, oh, this is a good place to test to see what kind of recall he has. So I took him off the leash, and I had one of those extender leashes on him before. So I took him completely off the leash so he's loose. And he was following me around. We did a little bit of walking around. He was right with me. And then he started to find things that were more interesting in the paddock. There was a little bit of horse or goat poop, and he was like just not paying attention at all. And I'm calling him. And as I'm calling him, I'm watching the alpacas getting closer and closer and closer. And I know the alpacas are more scared of me than anything. They're not friend. They're not aggressive. No. They're not aggressive, but they're not. You can't pat them. You can't touch them. They're wild. They came with the farm. They won't even eat out of your hand. They're freakishly weird animals, but they will go after a dog enough to scare it, but they're not enough to hurt them. And I figured, well, this is a good place for him to learn to understand if he's going to be on a farm, especially coming around with me for the period that I'm fostering him, to respect the animals. And so as I'm calling him, like, come on, Wilson, and I'm watching the alpacas come up really close, and he turned around and looked at that alpaca and came scooting over to me. And so now he's recognizing that there's things that he's afraid of, and he comes to me to get safety. So then after that, we walked around for a little while in that paddock. He was like right with me, and then we went for a walk with him off leash with Wanda, and he stayed right with both of us the entire time and was very good. And then dropped him off here for the day with Wanda so she can continue his training. Tonight I'll pick him up. We'll continue. Like, I tried to get him to lie down last night. He didn't want to lie down, and he bit at me, and I just held him. I held his mouth shut so he couldn't bite me, and I just held him like this as he squirmed, and as he squirmed, like a 2-year-old throwing a temper tantrum. And then all of a sudden he got tired and fell asleep, so I let go. And he slept on my bed, which I never let dogs sleep on my bed, perfectly all night, woke up the next morning completely fine. So that's my strategy. I don't know how everybody else does it, but a biting dog that's that small, you can just hold his mouth shut. And I've seen, I feel like if he's biting me, like if a horse bites me to hurt me, then I will smack them. But I won't smack him hard. There'll be no damage. But like I have a horse that bites, and he will, if you're not paying attention, he will grab your arm, he'll break skin. So I walk around with a curry comb in my hand, and when his teeth come at me, I smack his teeth right there, and he stopped biting me. And that's the horse, his name is Mowgli, and he's on stall rest. He was not a biter before he was on stall rest because he had throat surgery. But now when you walk him, he gets bored and starts biting at you. And I really, like, nobody else can walk him because he's constantly biting at you. So now I walk him with the curry comb, and when he comes at me, I come at him because I don't want to get bitten. So, but the difference between that is, like, obviously the force, but the difference between that and the little puppy, it's hard to know when he's biting you for play, which is a totally different, like the puppies here, they'll bite you in play, but there are times he comes at you and it's not play, it's I'm gonna bite you. And that's the time where you have to react and reprimand him in the method that you're comfortable with, which is me. If I can grab his mouth without getting bitten, that would be my preference. Grab his mouth and hold him and be like, no, I am the dominant player in this equation because I don't want you to grow up to be 160 pounds and hurt somebody. So that's why I will have Wilson for the next couple weeks working through him. Hopefully he'll have 100% turnaround and maybe be able to go back into the role of a service dog, or he'll be a fabulous failure, but he won't be a biter, and that's my goal.
Wonderful.
Any questions?
Okay. Let's see if we have any questions coming up here. There's 20 of them.
Okay.
Janine and Carly, just love you guys. Clearly animal people. I have watched you, Janine, get pulled out of the barn by Mrs. Zebu.
Oh, yeah.
The fact that you're involved rescuing all sorts of lovely farm animals. Clearly have your mother's talent of knowing animal behavior. Training and reintroducing rescue animals into a loving, safe environment is not something one can be taught, but rather your instincts, etc. Thank you for all you folks do. Thank you for allowing us into your adventurous world, even though we really aren't own any explanations of your time, so it is appreciated. Condolences on the loss of Stitch. He was a good boy. Yes, he was.
Yeah, he was a nice dog. That's
part of Wilson's problem may be that one of the overnight people kept patting him and her hands and
yep, that's
in the puppy's mouth. Yep, that'll do it.
Yeah.
My Grace had epilepsy and sadly became aggressive. The vet said she had brain tumor. But she was.
That's happened before too. That's I think what happened with Tucker. Because remember Tucker?
Yes.
Because one day he just started biting people out of. It was weird, and he aggressively bit 3 people in 1 week, and then had to be euthanized.
Yeah, we had a horse.
And I had a horse. Tracy's horse had the same thing. Just one day snapped.
Snapped. Yeah.
It happens.
That's not unusual.
Yeah. This is not what this dog Viktor. That was not a brain tumor. He was just aggressive.
Aggressive dog.
Yeah. Yeah.
I need to borrow Wanda.
Yeah.
Yes, a 19-pound dog can be vicious.
Yeah. Yeah. If Viktor was a small dog, he could be manageable. But Viktor, if I had fallen, seriously, he would have killed me if I had fallen.
I agree about Wilson being very dominant, but also he was raised like that
by not
being consequent. He's also a wild, chaotic boy, probably not good service dog.
Yeah, well, I think he'll come. I think he is very very lively, but I think that's because he has no boundaries, and that's why I'm taking him to Meredith, where I can take him for a walk every day and get the run out of him and put some boundaries around him.
Beyond being shocked at the disingenuous main story, I can understand dealing with an aggressive dog, but the lie is it for me.
I understand.
You know,
you
gotta realize we're attached to the cameras all the time, and you never can have all the details.
Yeah.
And to sometimes we just have to shut everybody up temporarily until we can give you the details, which we are now doing.
Well, the problem is that because I deal with this in my own rescue, there's parts of the rescue for equines and for service dogs that you guys just don't want to see, because you're looking through the cameras and you want to see happy service dog project, but it's not always the happy service dog especially for me, for the Equine Rescue Network. I've got a euthanized sick, things die, things happen. I don't have cameras, but I hide that from my my people as well, just because I want you guys to come to Service Dog Project and feel good about the work we do, and we don't want you to lose the focus on the good work because we've got a few bad eggs in there.
Yeah.
And it was a rarity.
Ugly things. Stillborn puppies. There are things that happen when you have animals that you just can't do a thing about.
And it would take away from the beautiful things that the Service Dog Project does. So the decision was made to come up with the main story, because a lot of people just wouldn't, and I didn't want to go forward with my story about getting so
chewed up
by a dog, because I didn't want anyone to lose trust in the rest of the dogs. Victor was an anomaly. I've never seen a dog like that size coming at me. So I didn't. That's the much deeper story.
I don't think you disagree with the decision this was made for Victor. Was there any post-euthanasia exam to look for a possible person? No, we didn't.
You know what? Because we talked about that, but really we did not. That dog was going to kill somebody. It doesn't matter really why. And I deal with this the other day. So I had to euthanize a horse, and people were like, "Well, do you want to do a post-op and stitch too?" It's like, it doesn't matter. He's dead. Why would we waste, for me, our money out of our budget to try to understand why that horse was aggressive? Because it was aggressive, and it's not going to impact our decision, and the horse is already dead. Yeah. If it's something that could be contagious, then yes, I have done stuff because that would come out of the Service Dog Project budget. The only time I have done a post-op exam was when I was worried that a horse died of something contagious. And it was $600 to have, and it wasn't like timely information that came right back.
I know.
So, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the problem is, you people have all heard about having studies being done on tumors in brains.
Yeah.
But they're done by somebody who has $1 million grant and a full staff and all that sort of thing. We don't. Yeah. We're feeding dogs and trying to turn out service dogs. So if we're going to spend $100,000 trying to figure out why that dog bites people,
it doesn't matter. You're not going to be able to fix it. If it's a brain tumor,
we're taking the budget out of
if it was something that was happening that we could fix, then maybe we would have done the exam before we euthanized him.
It'd be different decisions.
But I mean, even getting the vet to come near with the horse that we had of Tracy's that snapped, the vet arrived and Matt had to give it the first injection because the vet was afraid to get near it because it was so frothing at the mouth trying to hurt people.
Yeah.
So there's a lot.
There's things that happen with farm animals.
It's dangerous stuff.
It's dangerous.
So we have to limit the amount.
So when he came at me in the kitchen there, I grabbed and put his head down like we usually do, like the mothers do, and let go. But then when he came at me with his teeth and he put his tooth through my hand, that's when I smacked him, and that's when everybody got mad and decided I was cruel.
Well,
you react.
Yeah, there is definitely a reaction. I have another horse that that actually got me. I don't know if the horse that had the eye surgery, big black, gigantic horse. I was in there feeding him, and I put the grain in the bucket, and I just walked out towards the door, and he freaking nailed me. Like just brushed. I got a huge hematoma, and it was, I mean, if he had actually hit me, he would have broken my femur. And did I use foul language? Yes. Did I go back in there and put grain down, and I went back in there with a long whip, and I put a chain on his nose, and I put grain in there, and I walked to the back of him. I'm like, okay, go ahead, kick me now. And he picked up his foot, and I smacked his foot with the whip, and I was like, no, we do not pick, because that's our job. My job as a equine rescuer is to make sure whatever I have that's safe, that make sure every animal that's safe that can go out in a home, and I have to assess whether the horse that I have, whatever's wrong with them, how dangerous. I don't want to put something out into the world that's going to ever be dangerous. That's not. So, you know, I worked with him for 3 days, and you could go in there and you could set up a picnic table behind his butt while he was eating, and he was totally
Mo
fine.
was no angel.
No, and Mo, when we first got her, was
she was terrible.
But you know, animals that you can work with. Victor was not one of those.
Yeah.
But there are animals that you can work with. Mo, she was a little fearful. She just wanted to tell you not to pick up her feet. And once you put a bucket of, and you spoke her language, you fed her, you told her you weren't going to hurt her, and you had to do it anyways, she was good about it. But yeah, mules and their feet, that's another one. But it's dangerous work, and I feel like I'm sometimes too old to do that kind of dangerous work. So and I know there's ways you can hire a natural horseman. It will take them, you know, they can work with a horse for months at your expense, and they'll come up with the same result. But I don't have that in my budget to work with people like natural horse people that work with the wild Mustangs, because nor do I have the time.
This guy's not bad.
Oh, he's not bad at all. He's not bad at all.
He's pretty damn good.
Yep.
And he reads animals. It's not just horses.
Yeah, he does.
He reads these dogs.
He's doing well with it. And that again, that cow that we had, she came after me.
The cow is bad.
The cow is bad.
He can lead her around now and pat her.
Yep. And that's good. That's what we do. But that cow is not going to kill anybody. Victor was going to kill somebody.
Well, the cow with those horns.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That could be.
Yeah, but she doesn't have the ability to, like, I don't think she's going to, I think this is when she ran at me was more to scare me. I don't think she had that killer instinct.
Well, they have this hook.
Yeah.
Running straight at you is fine. It's the hook.
It's the hook, yeah.
The hook that gets
So
it.
we'll see how she, I mean, I think that we'll be able to, we can always put her out with the alpacas that are running free. What the FF is for, and
I agree. I believe a necropsy should have been done in this instance. That is what the fund is for. And anyone who disagrees with using their donation in this way should say so. Well, we don't have, there again, it's a question of time, money, and everything else. We don't have time to find out if it's okay with everybody or not.
I just don't understand what spending $600 to have, I'm guessing that dog did not have a tumor, but that's my own. I'm not a veterinarian, but I'm guessing. So I wouldn't have done it.
He had it too long. If it was a growing tumor.
Yeah, he was having issues for a long time.
Yeah.
And Lynn, unfortunately, the people that worked with him couldn't train him not to do it because he loved Lynn. When she was in front of me, she was my saving grace. He was not going to kill her, but he was trying to get to me. So it's hard to train your own dog not to bite anyone, and when it comes down to it, I have to show up as a family member and risk my life to go out and test to see if he's going to kill somebody else. And my answer was absolutely yes. So if you think about the problem with a biting dog is if they bite somebody, you're liable.
You're going to be in trouble.
Sink the entire ship by having a dog. If that dog went out to a home, you would see him on the Channel 4 news because he attacked some child. Not going to be something that it would be irresponsible for us to do anything other than what we did. And I know it's hard because Lee was a nice dog for Lynn.
I tried. He bit at me a little bit, when I tried to work with him a little bit. I couldn't get anywhere.
Yeah. And this puppy, when you try to work with him, he's starting that behavior. So
that's correct.
let's
saw
learn. We are learning from that, and Lynn has the puppies being managed a little differently, not coddled as much. So hopefully that'll be addressed. I'm going to work with the dog, and we'll move forward.
We'll see what happens.
Tucker, by the way, was my old dog. That was like, I don't know, 10 years ago. Yeah, and you don't get over these things, because he was a really nice dog, and I wanted to keep him, but he definitely broke skin 3 times, and really a dog, he shouldn't be allowed to, I mean, it's not the law, but
I think the third bite is a bad thing.
The first, every dog gets 1 bite. If they bite somebody the second time, you shouldn't give them a third.
Yeah.
Because if you get sued and your dog has bitten somebody
already
a couple times, yeah, then you're liable.
I think legally the third bite they're dead. I mean,
there is some legal ramifications, because people don't. It takes a lot of courage to do, and I'm proud of Lynn that was able to make that decision. Hasn't happened in the history of that she's had to make that decision. So it was good with her tenure here that she recognized that this was not a dog that could be rehabbed in any capacity.
All right. I didn't realize that Tucker was a relative of Sizzle.
Okay.
How many have done this and had to be put down? None.
Yeah, well, Tucker did.
Well, Tucker, that was yours.
Yeah, that was my dog. Victor's, it was not a sudden change in behavior. It was not a sudden change. It was gradual, but you didn't see it because he was only surrounded by people he knew.
Does anyone know if this white dog was deaf or not?
I don't know.
Oh, we have Foggy. That was one of our old dogs.
All right, I think let's see if there's any more questions.
Let's go back to the top here. Oh, jeepers.
46 more comments.
I understand what you're saying, and I trust you and your opinion on how to break Wilson's bad habit. You have my blessings. Maybe you can do periodic updates in this progress.
Okay, I'll do that.
Camera again. She said yes, she would. I'm sorry you had to go through the experience, Janine. I've been bitten a few times, and the dog always gave warning. They had issues with being I only brought up the exam because Viktor has litter mates, etc. And
that's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
It would help to know. But you better believe we're watching them.
Yeah.
We're watching them like a hawk.
Yeah, but Viktor was, from what Lynn has explained, it was not something sudden change. They saw it coming. Yeah, they knew this was happening, but they couldn't find anyone to really test him with, because they didn't want to take a volunteer off the street and say, go in with this dog and see if you live.
Well, I did try it with Matt.
Okay, yeah.
He got away with it.
And what'd he say, no?
No, he went in. He didn't have any trouble. I forgot actually what he said.
All right, this person is saying that, but Stitch died on his own. Oh, that's not.
I completely disagree with the way Carly and Janine have handled Viktor and Stitch situations. Supporters have deserve the truth, and what Janine is explaining with regard to Viktor during mail call today should have occurred when he was euthanized. With regard to Stitch, it could be important to know why Stitch died. For example,
but you tested the rest of the dog.
Cause as his litter mates or other cause.
Yeah, but you tested the other dog's hearts. There's no question what happened to Stitch. He had a heart attack. I was there. He had a heart attack. He was running and then he was dead. That's only heart failure. And we tested the other dogs, right?
Yeah, recipients of dogs in that breeding line. I know Jiminy is his only remaining litter mate. Well, he's neutered.
Yeah.
He's neutered and he's a pet dog.
Yeah.
So
they're doing it.
Certainly did. I have pages and pages full of tracing Stitch's litter mates and that.
We did go through all that.
What they died of and all that sort of thing. Yeah. But when you have a dead dog, you have a dead dog, and it's not going to help.
Yeah.
I don't know of anybody who thinks the fund ought to be used for that. There again, everything you say regarding animals is wrong.
Right, right.
You know, at some point
right.
you'll be dead wrong.
Right.
You know?
So I can address the ADI stuff as well.
Okay.
From the situation with ADI, as you know, we were on suspension. I've sat through a lot of the meetings where ADI provided a list of things that they demanded, which included not having the puppies in the house, no interactions with Carlene and Service Dog Project altogether, and it really came down to the fact that that it's hard because this is the family's property. This is her property, and we can't. They were not. This essentially they were asking that she has no interaction, which would leave her not being able to go into the barn, no dogs in the house, and the list became longer and longer. And then finally, Lynn and I sat down, and we were like, "Well, what do we get from it?" One of the problems I believe is that the ADI is really for they're working with a different type of dog. They're working with golden retrievers and Labradors and maybe even a few shepherds. And if any of you have met a Great Dane, mentally they're a different breed of dogs. They are, you know, they're just quieter. They're easier to train. So they've never really understood our model here. And my mother has poked the bear in her doggy daily for years. She's been poking ADI, and the ADI finally came back with one swoop and put us on suspension. And the benefits that we get from ADI, we cost us $1,700 a year to be accredited with ADI, and all of the pieces that keep us accredited. We've totaled up all those numbers, and the only benefit that we get from ADI is the fact that our veterans get veterinary care for their pets, which we realize is what between $9 and $30 a month. So we've decided for pet insurance, we've decided
it's more than that.
A month.
Yeah.
Oh, for pet insurance?
It is. It's a lot more.
No, I did the research for pet insurance for the dog. Okay, maybe you did a different research because I sat down with Lynn. We ran the numbers, and
I did too, and it was like 125 for a young dog. Oh, whatever. Go ahead.
All right.
We don't know what the money is.
Okay, so, but we ran the numbers and decided that losing ADI is not something that's going to impact the Service Dog Project, and we were not going to be able to meet all of their criteria because it would require my mother not being on the property at all, and she's not living with me. So it's, you know, we're flying without a net, and we'll see how that goes. The loss of accreditation, all it means is that our recipients who are veterans do not receive the veterans benefit for continued veterinary costs for their animals, which we are going to offer them.
I believe that's true.
We are going to offer them, if it's a veteran.
Our dogs are graduated, they're trained,
yeah, but we are going to offer the veterans pet insurance.
Okay.
Yeah, so what's happening with Wilson is, again, Lynn is on top of it. We're trying different things, and
the dominance should not have happened so long. I do agree, but a lot of this happened in the middle of the night when everybody else was asleep, including Lynn and me.
Yeah.
You know, you can't sit around and watch this stuff forever. You know, it's
yeah. Remember, we're just living our lives here. You happen to be watching, or she's living her life here. You happen to be watching on camera. We are looking at how Lynn has got some plan for the two puppies that are here and ongoing. We've been training dogs in the Service Dog Project successfully since 2012.
2003. I put out my first dog.
Oh, sorry, 2003. Whatever, yeah. But. For a long time, God, has it been that long? I guess it has been. And really, I've never been attacked like Viktor up until now, and I'm the test dummy. So I've never been attacked like that. And something in all, you know, it could have been like we were trying to change a lot of the different procedures to be ADI compliant. It could have been stuff like that. I don't know, but we're going back to the roots of spoon feeding, and Lynn is taking a
Lynn is
closer
doing a
look.
fantastic
she's
job.
doing a fantastic. She's taking a closer look at what we were doing before and how we're managing our puppies. And I'm hopefully going to pull Victor back and make him a nice, fabulous failure or a service dog. Wilson. What did I say? Winston.
No, you said Victor.
Oh, Victor, right. No, yeah.
The CP Army has, and I believe will, always come to the rescue with extra funds. Oh God, extra funds to help out with any testing that could help service dog.
Yeah,
projects.
but
I don't think it would have helped us.
that's it. I don't think it would.
the whole bloodline was dead,
Yeah.
so there's nothing to learn there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, if Jiminy does the same thing, well, he'll do the same thing. I don't know. That's his brother.
Yeah.
He'd run around like crazy.
It was awful. It was awful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to have.
A healthy heart does not fall over and die.
Yeah. Was Victor buried at service? Yeah. Yes, he is. Yeah, we didn't know whether
Yeah, we
Victor
didn't
had
know.
a tumor or not.
But
It didn't really make any
If
difference.
he had a tumor, we're not going to take it out. I'm, you know, I don't know if they do brain tumor removal on dogs.
Carly, have I seen many aggressive dogs? Yes, I have.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
certainly have.
Yeah. Well, you don't notice aggressive dogs as much that are smaller. When you see 150-pound aggressive dogs, you don't forget it.
Yeah, you don't. Jack Russell. I mean, she can be nasty.
My
Wanda
dog
can be nasty.
My dog is aggressive.
You just sort of pick her up, and that's the end of it. You know?
My dog is aggressive, but only towards dogs. It is an embarrassment constantly. I just pick her up, and my son brought her to had her up at UNH, and he made the mistake of bringing her to a dog-friendly restaurant. And it was a nightmare because all she wanted to do was attack every dog around her. But she's little. You know, the problem with these Great Danes is...
You run up down the bar.
Yeah, but thank God Stitch was never like that, because if Stitch wanted to pull me over, he can pull me over. He was a strong dog, and yeah, so you really have to think differently when the dogs are this size. You got to train them not to be that way.
Sadly, some dogs and pups just aren't wired right, just like some people.
Yeah.
I agree with you totally about holding the mouth shut. When my Dane Dobie mix was Wilson's age, I was fighting. It's exactly how I stopped him. Took no time. He's now 162 pounds. Thankfully, Victor didn't severely hurt you. These giant breeds, many don't understand unless they've had them.
Yeah.
So thank you so
Well,
much
that's
for
good to
working
know.
with him.
That's good
Right.
to know. Yeah. So I'm hoping I'm really hopeful that works, because a lot of it is, every time I see a black dog, I'm still a little scared. Because that's how much I was minutes away from having that dog come at my throat. If I had fallen, he would have been right on top of me.
And he knew where your throat was.
Oh yeah, that dog he knew to grab my arm and do that twist so I would fall down, but fortunately Lynn was in my way. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not teething. There's a difference.
No.
Yeah.
No. Yeah.
He's doing normal teething and normal chewing and playful, but every once in a while it's a bite. And I'm not going to take him as my dog. I'm fostering him. Did you have to have surgery? No. And actually when I went home, I had to take scissors and cut off a flap of skin on my arm.
Yeah, I don't want anybody going to the hospital and saying a Great Dane bit him. It's been for my insurance.
Yeah. I knew it didn't break my arm or anything, but there was a flap of skin that was.
You know, a lot of these people are saying, get a hold of the thing. But you know, you're grabbing into the midst of a bunch of sharp things.
Yeah. No, I just hold it shut.
It's like getting a knife out of the knife drawer. You know.
Yeah, there's a bunch.
Think about it.
There are a bunch of strategies that have worked for other people, and my problem, especially like all these people who criticize me for when a horse kicks at me, I go nuts. But I'm afraid to change my strategies, because if I'm training a horse not to kick and I'm not successful, that means he's going to continue to kick, and I'm probably going to be subject to that kick or somebody else. So I stick to what I know.
Janine, we would love to have you drop in for Mike's mail call more often and give us your perspective on all the animals. Matt has said he's making progress with Mrs. Zebu. What are your plans for her and Elvis?
Excuse me. I need a little water. Is there water?
Water? Do we got any water?
What? Do you have a water? Is there water around here?
Oh,
For me.
oh, maybe.
Yeah, sorry. I'm just choking. No, it's
She will be back very shortly.
Zebu and Elvis are going to go back to Meredith and probably go out with the alpaca. And hopefully that Zebu, you know, will be free to not charge anybody. She seems like if you get her cornered, she might or Matt will get her to the point where she's not going to hurt anybody. But we got to get the horns capped off.
Like the balls.
Yeah, we got to get the.
This was not the one. I gave the two. They're bigger.
Okay.
For her. And I gave them to the veterinarian.
Okay.
Brian.
All right. Yeah, so once she gets those on, they can go back over to Meredith, and I'll put her out with the alpaca. And Elvis can be Elvis, and he'll have a girlfriend that nobody can get near. But unless Matt miraculously makes her into a better.
I think she'll come around. Because there's a whole different mindset.
Yeah, I saw some videos of him where she's actually doing better.
Yes. Apparently he could make her out, walk around and pat.
Yeah, the first time she charged at me, I was like, up, outside of my pay grade. Get Matt. He's a cowboy. This is a cow. So.
Oh.
Okay, the dog peed all over my house, but yeah, and in my car. But that's okay. I've got a cage for him tonight.
Janine, thank you so much for caring for Wilson.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have.
It would have to be a very unusual event.
Well, you never know.
You never know.
He's 12 weeks old.
He is smart. He almost could do the yuppie puppy.
Oh yeah, he's smart. He really he's not a dumb dog. That's not one thing I can say about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just needs.
We both agree on that one.
He's like a child that's had no discipline.
It's that word discipline.
Yeah.
It throws people. Well, they're not used to it.
It's not. I should say, animals and children and people need boundaries.
Yeah.
Need boundaries, and they need to stay in their lane, because if we are a society that's outside of our lane, we're going to piss people off outside of our, we just have to be respectful. He has no respect for me. If a dog bites you, it's because they have no respect for you. And he has no respect for Wanda, but he does now. And notice how Wanda deals with him. She deals with him aggressively, with pain. And she can't do any permanent damage to him, and immediately he understood. It's like Lincoln, my big horse. He goes out with other horses. He just walks in the paddock, and every other horse says, "Oh, okay, Lincoln's the boss." And excuse me. And so that's kind of the same. I'm trying to present I'm big alpha. Just don't even try it. So I'm trying.
Sometimes you get away with it.
Yeah, sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you don't.
Yes. Yeah. All right. I have another 4 minutes.
How old is Wanda?
Wanda is probably 16. She's wicked old. So we have to find a replacement. She's like the little dog that is at the bunny at the Greyhound track.
Oh, really?
She's really good at her job. Okay, so do you think that Wilson is not having as much interaction with other dogs in the beginning when he arrived made a difference? Yeah. I definitely, the whole scenario has impacted the way he is now.
Yeah. See, our dogs usually stay with the mother, 4 weeks anyway? And they do get some training.
Where did he come from?
Who?
Wilson.
Georgia.
Oh, right, you told me that. And he came here alone, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think all of that had an impact. And how old was he when he arrived?
8, 10 weeks.
Less than 8 weeks.
Oh, okay, so that's normal. Yeah, but he was really cute and people loved him a lot.
And he was alone. So
Oh, yeah, yeah,
It's hard not to
yeah.
cuddle him.
Okay.
Janine, now you are here. Can you give the new Zebu a name?
Yeah, I don't
know.
I don't have a name for that, Zebu. I thought you guys had named her. I'm not around. Yeah, I'm gonna, and also, by the way, Huxley is leaving on Sunday. Huxley?
Oh, the big brown horse?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
He has a home.
Yes, well, he's going to a trainer in, because he's a nice horse. He just, as you can tell, he's a tough horse to ride, and he needs someone to ride him every day.
I swear, has 5 gated behind him.
Yeah, he's, and he needs to be ridden every day, and unfortunately, I don't have time to do it. Matt doesn't have time to do it. So when you get on him, he has good days and bad days. The last time I got on him, he tried to buck me off, and when he was unsuccessful, he turned around and grabbed my leg and then tried to pull me off. So he's going to a professional trainer, and they are going to. They're also a rescue. It's the Saddlebred Retirement Foundation. I'm meeting her in Pennsylvania, and he's going to be trained, and she's going to help me place. But he's also the wrong horse for up here because he's not. He's a 5-gated. Fancy, if you don't know it, if you saddle seat horse, and if you Google saddle seat, we don't have that going on here in Massachusetts. We have show jumpers, we have event horses, we have dressage horses. Saddle seat he's a saddle seat horse. He's a heads up, this type of horse. They love that down south, and so he's going down south to be with people that love that kind of horse. We are not denied access because of ADI.
Right.
The only thing that we lose is the vets lose is the ability to
insurance,
get the insurance.
I've never had access denied.
Yeah.
The point is they lied about what happened. The
yeah.
cameras force it, guys. You just think of what it's like.
It was a decision that we were also.
And we came back and said it.
We've been talking about it for a while. But it also takes us a while to process it, because remember, this type of stuff doesn't happen every day. So when we
don't have any preconceived, we don't have anything to go on.
Yeah, we've not.
Some people can deal with the truth.
Yeah, and when Tucker got euthanized, but he was an older dog too. But you were forthright with that. But this Viktor thing, that was just, we didn't, and we made the decision to keep it off the camera because we don't want to share the bad news as much. And I try to do the same thing with the Equine Rescue Network, because who wants to go to explore.org and be sad? You want to be out here seeing cute animals. If you want to see horses in distress, follow me on social media, and you'll see horses in kill pens and getting euthanized. Yeah.
Aha! Did he attack others as well? When I was at Dog Fest, they kept him in the ICU building and had a sign, "Don't pet him."
Right. Yeah.
See, I mean,
it's been a while, but they wouldn't let him near anybody, so no, he didn't. Lynn did a really good job, but when I was here, I was asked to test him, and he failed.
That's ADI again.
Okay. Yeah, there's a pet insurance that I looked it up. It was $30. If you Google pet insurance.
Yeah, we've Googled
it
a
can't
lot.
be, because 100% of all, it's not hundreds of dollars, because I have insurance on some of my horses.
You better find out what they cover.
Yeah, I have insurance on some of the horses, and it's I don't know, $25 a month. So yeah. What
we've gone on is the fact that what pet insurance do the doctors prefer?
Right.
And those are the numbers I have in my head.
Okay, yeah, I don't know, but that was the plan when we decided to move forward.
Thank you so much for your lucid, calm explanations. I'm sure your mother must be appreciative of you being there to help with this. They're both amazing. I happily support Service Dog Project, will continue to do so. The content in the knowledge that whatever you use the money for will be in the best interest of the dogs and the recipients. You're damn right. That's what we've got in mind.
Yeah, and really when it comes down to the dogs and the recipients, the camera people come third. So, and not that we don't support, you know, are grateful for your support, but we're, you know, our mission is for
Dogs.
the dogs and recipients, and but we're very grateful because we could not do that without
We couldn't do it without you
the
all.
cameras. So, nope, that does not impact any of the documentation.
No.
They are still access. Yeah, Service Dog Project was here a long time before. Yeah, but the pet insurance, when you start covering, if you get them on when they're younger,
That is true.
then they have to get a vet exam.
That's where we're that's our whole debate thing, and you can get in, you all can get in it. Apparently if you start insuring your dog at 8 months, you get in at say $125.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you know.
If you start them at 3 years, it's going to be $300 a month.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But if you start at 125, then they let you keep that 125.
Yeah.
So for us,
You're
we
talking
want
a
to
month?
start
You're
something like that.
Okay, I didn't think it was that much.
Yeah, well,
I haven't done, I'm not, I
if you
Googled it
start
quick.
a whole litter, say we got 8 in a litter.
Yeah.
Well, now what do? Do we start all 8, or how do we figure out which ones are going to go with the veterans? You know, I mean, it gets crazy.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
It
that's
gets
the
crazy.
solution.
That's business.
Yeah. All right, I need to go. Am I free
You
to
need
go?
to row.
Is there
I
anything?
think
17 more comments. Just
we'll hit the biggies.
You didn't open the mail though, but you could always wait till tomorrow.
How was Victor toward the feeders?
for people he knew, Tucker was 4. I mean, I think he was older than that. He was my dog, so maybe I'm wrong.
We can't use Priscilla for the cow because that's the other stepsister.
Yeah, yeah. What was the other question? Roll up for a second. Victor liked the people he knew. That was not a problem, and that was, the people that handled him, he would not bite. But any stranger, $75 a month. Okay, pays $200 per month. So
It's somewhere in that area.
Yeah. I thought I did a Google search, so I'm not saying I know anything. Okay, Huxley's leaving for, yeah. We're going to the auction on Sunday morning, and we're taking Huxley down to Pennsylvania with us.
I have been to the vet's office to have their dogs put down after one bite on a child. Being attacked like that would have definitely justified being put down. Thank you, Carlene and Janine, for all you do. Love that Janine rescues equines. Taxi's a good example of people I don't understand an animal. I have blue healers. They're special hyper breed, but mine have lived 18 years, just as my Gemini last year. I also have a Malamute that's 14. She's a lap dog. Thank you again for what you do.
Okay.
Oh, you're welcome. We work at it.
Yeah, that's the other thing that happens is kids provoke they don't have.
A lot of things
Oh,
that depends on how you get bitten. I mean, mine, I kind of figure I got my hand in the way.
Yeah, that's why I'm not doing the grab the tongue thing. It's
Because of the size of the tongue you're trying
when
to grab.
they're biting at you, versus when they're playing with you, it's nice. When they're biting at you, it's hard to get out of the way. There's a difference.
I mean,
So
everything you say
I'm not
about
that
animal
fast.
behavior is wrong.
yeah. Okay, I gotta go. So.
Okay, well, thank you very
All right.
much.
Yeah, I will
You'll
be
come
back.
back
I have to come back to pick him up because I'm going to get my shot and then I'm coming back.
Oh, all right. He's down the barn, right?
All right, I've already loaded.
And that's where Wanda is?
Yep. I will
Okay.
pick them both up.
I hope
So
they
we-
fed them.
Huh?
I hope they fed them down
they
there.
probably did. I'll feed them more. I'll feed them a snack at my house, but yeah, they feed it.
I assume they fed
Yeah,
them.
they always feed them when they're
Okay.
here. So.
Yeah.
They just don't feed me enough.
Right.
Okay, well that was an
Bye.
hour's worth.
You're not gonna open the mail, are you?
Well, yeah, I am going to open the mail.
Yeah, open that good one.
I'll just open the mail. Answer any more questions that come in if I can manage. It's so hard dealing with the cameras.
Yeah.
And yet the cameras are so important to so many people that I can't fuss too much, you know, but it's tough. And I know damn well I'm in the middle of it all the time. And there's not a damn thing I can do about it. I mean, he put his teeth in me and I hit him, you know? That's the way it is. Sanctuary. Each month, sanctuary dispensaries in Massachusetts fundraise for different nonprofit organizations in lieu of accepting tips and unwanted change. We ask our patients and customers to donate each month nonprofit. For the months of July and August, we selected your organization to receive these funds. And we're happy to match the donation. Well, isn't that wonderful? Whoa! 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 Okay, this is unbelievable. The sanctuary launched in New Hampshire as a nonprofit organization. To this day, our 2 New Hampshire locations remain nonprofit organizations, and we retain an affinity for helping similar organizations in the communities where we operate. We would love to continue working with your organization when and where you see the opportunity to do so. My contact information below, so feel free to reach out, discuss ongoing events, fundraisers, and things we can assist with.
Nice.
Sanctuary medicinals. Huh. Okay, well this amounts to over $2,000 here.
Wonderful.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Want me to get that box for you?
This part, yeah, go ahead and get
Over
it.
here in case there's more. That was nice.
Yes. Okay, Barbara. Minnetonka, Minnesota.
I just came back from Minnesota on Tuesday.
Did you? Oh, wow. Okay, you're gonna look in the
Yep.
thing. Give thanks. A heartfelt thanks to Service Dog Project for all we do. Barbara. Thank you very much, Barbara.
Is it chicken bricks or donation?
It says just donation.
Okay. Thank you.
And this is for Judy. Bernice Jackson, Holtzville, New York. There's another one. Uh-oh. I think I did the wrong thing. Maybe I didn't. Oh, here we go.
I need to get my glasses so I can see.
Bernice Jackson would like a calendar order. There we go. I'll put that all in there, and then that can go in there. And then this one. Oh! And then she wants some chicken bricks. Okay, we'll put that in there, and then the chicken brick department goes in here.
So what, a calendar and a chicken brick?
Calendar and chicken bricks.
Okay.
Robinette. Oh my word, where is this place?
Carlene? Lynn wants to speak to you for a second.
Yes.
Hit your microphone.
Wait a minute, we're going to turn this off for just a second.
right.
giving her the poop report. Oh,
Oh, God, don't.
come on, oh, Jesus. More problems because people are just, it's unbelievable. I don't know how. I don't know how anybody lives with this Facebook thing.
What are you doing? Oh my goodness, my goodness.
They are lovely little puppies.
Oh
They are.
my goodness. Oh, look at you.
They are having to go home tonight with somebody. This is Robinette. Ypsilanti. That's what that is.
Michigan? Is that Michigan?
Ypsilanti.
Yeah, Michigan.
Wow.
What do you think? Huh?
In honor of Karen.
Oh my.
In honor of who?
Karen? Mm-hmm.
Like in memory of someone?
Yep. Jahake, something like that.
Come here. Okay,
Jonky.
I got one. It'll be returned in the morning.
So I still have one here, and she's coming
Haley's
back.
gonna get him, yeah.
Coming for it. Okay. All right.
Good luck.
Thank you. Goodbye.
You have puppy food?
I do. Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Heisner, Battle Creek, Michigan. Oh boy. Oh, there we go. There we go. This is from Julie Cummins. In memorial. Right, okay, we'll put that in there. And
Julie
that-
Cummings.
Cummins. Cummins or something like that, yeah.
So in memory of her.
Toto. Manchester, New Hampshire. Oh, that's cute. You can hold that up.
Zone. That's cute.
That is cute. This is from Toto, Manchester, New Hampshire.
So from the Toto family?
I don't
Maybe.
know. Toto.
Yeah, Toto's the dog. From the Totos.
Okay.
Cute.
T-Mobile for business. I don't know what this is all about. Get the new iPhone on us. Why did we put that in there? Throw the other one out. Oh, Nature Conservatory.
Yeah,
No, I don't think
Throw it.
so.
I don't like them at all.
Huh?
They have to, I don't give them any more money. Gave up on them.
Okay. And
You know.
those go there.
Alright, that's your little newspaper.
I'll never get to read that anyway. There we go. That's all done.
See if they have any questions about these at the top, maybe.
About who?
Well, see if they have any questions now that you
Okay.
open the mail,
Ah,
rather than the other discussion.
okay. 48 questions.
Hopefully they can read my writing.
Yes, the girls did go for an overnight. I heard in the background. I'm a monthly chicken brick purchaser. That pays for staff salaries. How am I third in the pecking order? Can't complain about CPs or lie to them and expect. No, you know, look what you have done to me in the last 2 days. I mean, we've tried everything.
Stay. You're fine.
Oh,
I'm taking her.
As I said to Lynn, after they ate about a half an hour, they both had loose poop. I just want to warn you.
good to see you, Sarah.
Hmm?
Somebody's very good to see you.
Oh, I know. I'm back.
I'm very sorry for the sad, dramatic loss of Viktor.
Yep.
But all was cared for him as a necessary decision was made.
Yep.
I'm in a no-win situation with the cameras. There are people who have no self-control and think they know more than you do raising the dogs. That's true. And it is a choice to watch. If people don't like it, they go elsewhere. I do that with things I don't like. Make choices.
Good girl.
Just wants to sleep.
All right, be
Be
careful.
a hater there. Is this why his complaints from people watching the cams about how Carlene handled the dogs? Yep. I had no idea. It angers me that this happened. Yep, it angers me. It also suspended on me because of what I said about it. You know, I put out a lot of opinions about ADI and they didn't like it. And you couple that with a couple complaints of camera people and they put together a whole package. Well, that's all right. All I'm interested in is training dogs to help people. All this other stuff is, you know, is what I got to do. What's the featured comment?
Remember Linda put that note up? I don't know where it is now, but
I don't know.
yeah, I think it's over. I think you're done.
Hard target discussion. I don't know what the featured comment said, but hopefully it got
Remember
answered.
what Linda wrote earlier? You were in there while she was talking about it, telling her what was going on.
She's stopping on Wednesday, and she's going to come back when we get some of the changes
Yes, implemented. Correct.
made.
Right. Okay, you're good. Oh, interesting.
Here's somebody who thinks the story should have been told about Viktor. Well, we just told it. We just didn't do it timely. Okay, I'm calling it a night. The reason we had to send the puppies away on an overnight is basically because the comments being made on this comment thing were so insulting to the people who babysit the dog, to the overnight people. So they're not coming in now. So now we have no overnight. It's basically because of the comments made by people who don't know what they're talking about. And I'm sorry if we took a few days to tell you the exact story about Viktor, but we told it.
Let it go.
Let it go. For crying out loud.
Good night.
I'm going to bed. Good night.